So, in The Novel Collector, I think that John Fowles, the author, did an excellent job of capturing the psyche, mindset, and emotions of a sexual abuser slash kidnapper. And the reason I think this is because during class we discussed how there were actually several serial killers that said they were either inspired by the novel The Collector or found like there are people who found like the collector in their homes and other things along those lines. So I actually went and researched one of these serial killers that was inspired by the novel The Collector to see if Fowles actually did a good job of capturing the way that serial killers generally think and the way that they behave. So I read about a specific serial killer, and his name was Leonard Lake. And Lake was a serial killer in the 80s from about 1981 to 1983. So this was a nearly like 15, 20 years after The Collector was initially published. And as a child, Lake was split from his parents because they divorced at age 6 when he was 6 years old. Lake lived with his grandmother, so he didn't really have a stable family life or a strong father figure. He killed mice as a child in chemical solutions because he liked to watch their bodies dissolve. And he was also very, very obsessed with pornography from a young age. So, all of those things are the same things that Clegg did, except Clegg was split from his parents because they died, or his father died and his mother ran off, and he collected butterflies and killed them instead of killing mice, and he was also obsessed with pornography. So I thought that was really, really strange. So after this point in his life, Lake read The Collector, and he was so inspired by The Collector that he went out and actually did all the things that Clegg did. So Lake went and found a remote cabin, which was about 150 miles outside of San Francisco. He built a dungeon to put all of his victims in, and he filmed himself abusing all of his victims, just like Clegg did, except Clegg took pictures of himself abusing Miranda. So the fact that Fowles was able to so accurately think of the way that a serial killer thinks and acts, and he showed like the progression of going from a normal person to a serial killer so well that a real life individual 15 to 20 years after the novel was published did the exact same things that Clegg did. I thought that was so cool. That was mind blowing because it makes The Collector not a fiction novel, but a fiction novel based off of real life events. And I just thought that was so cool that Fowles put so much work and consideration into the creation of his plotline and characters. It was really mind blowing and gave me a new respect for the quality of novel that The Collector is.